Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in to another Your Library at Home digital media camp. I'm Andrew, broadcasting live from Studio 270, that's our teen center here at the Gail Borden Public Library. And today we're going to talk about how to monetize your music using the internet and using the different agencies that are available on the internet. So in the last episode that I was doing, I told you how you could get your music on the internet using different digital distributors and get it on Spotify and Apple Music and all those other places. Now we're talking about, once you've done that, how you can collect all the different royalties that you're entitled to as an artist and as a songwriter. So the important thing to realize first and understand is that there are two main different types of royalties. One is the mechanical royalty and the other is the performance royalty. So your performance royalties, though it says performance, that may entail live performance, and that's part of it, but a performance is any time that your music is publicly played. So a stream counts as a performance royalty, as well as a mechanical royalty. That kind of crosses over, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But performance royalties are any time that your music is played publicly. So that could be in a bar, a restaurant, you performing it live at a concert, or somebody just playing it over the internet, depending on the scenario. So in order to collect on those royalties, in the United States there's three organizations that you could be you have to choose from, and you could be affiliated with only one of these organizations. So the performance rights organizations in the United States are ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. So you could only affiliate with one of these performance rights organizations, because if you affiliated with multiple, then the risk is ran that you are collecting the same royalty multiple times. So pick your performance rights organization. ASCAP costs money, BMI doesn't. I'm not sure with CSAC, but I think you need to be invited to be a part of CSAC. But ASCAP and BMI is free. ASCAP comes with a one-time registration fee, but I also know that ASCAP has some benefits that come with that, such as discounts on hotel rates and things like that. But choose which one you want. They do the same thing for you, and that is collect for your performance royalties. So that means your interactive performance royalties. Again, like I said, things like playing a show. You could report your set list when you do a concert. So if you did 12 songs in your set, and as long as those are registered songs with your performance right organization, then you input the songs that you did, the venue that you performed them at, and then at the end of the quarter you'll get a royalty payment for those as well. That's separate from the royalties that you get from maybe a restaurant playing your music, or from somebody playing your songs on Spotify. So you need to first affiliate with a performance rights organization or a pro to get those performance royalties, and then you'll have to affiliate with SoundExchange to get digital performance royalties. Now, depending on what distributor you use, some will automatically put your music into SoundExchange. The songs that I distributed through CD Baby ended up in SoundExchange automatically, whereas the songs that I distributed through DistroKid did not, and I had to put them in manually. I believe the reason for that is DistroKid doesn't take a commission, CD Baby does. When a place is taking a commission, they want to collect all the money that they can in order to get the percentage. So that's my theory as to why CD Baby puts the stuff in SoundExchange for you. They want to collect on those digital performance royalties. DistroKid and some other distributors charge an upfront fee, but they don't collect any percentage. And DistroKid, for example, does not put it in SoundExchange. That may be the reason, just speculation there. But anyways, SoundExchange is what you need for your digital performance royalty. So what's a digital performance royalty? That's like Pandora, Spotify. Those they pay royalties to SoundExchange, and they pay royalties to the performance right organization that you're affiliated with. Non-interactive digital performances, which is defined as internet radio, XM radio, places that are digital performances but the listener doesn't handpick the songs. Those are non-interactive digital performance royalties, and those also go to SoundExchange. Those are paid at a different rate than an interactive performance royalty, which is paid to SoundExchange as well. But an interactive performance royalty is like when you're on Spotify or Apple Music, you select the song that you want to play, you personally chose that song, that's called an interactive performance royalty. So to recap what we've talked about so far, your performance royalties for public performances are going to go to your performance rights organization, who's going to pay you out. That's either ASCAP, BMI, or CSEC in the United States. But they don't collect on all of the digital performance, so the digital performance revenue is going to go through Sound Exchange. So you need to be registered to a performance rights organization and Sound Exchange in order to collect all of your performance royalties. So I know that's complicated, and the whole subject of royalties is complicated, and some of the information can differ based on the entities that are involved, the country that you're in, things like that. But this is the gist of it. These are the basics of what you need to know about royalty collection. So we talked about performance royalties, non-interactive, interactive, public performances, things like that. We haven't talked about the mechanical royalties. And in order to collect on mechanical royalties, there's probably some others, but the main one out there is the Harry Fox Agency. So as you can see when you go to the homepage of the Harry Fox Agency, this could be used by businesses to license music and also by musicians to get paid for their mechanical royalties. And alright, so the Harry Fox Agency collects on the mechanicals of the recording. There's two different royalties for both performance and mechanical royalties that get paid out. One goes to the songwriter. That's the person who wrote the lyrics, the melody, or the people who wrote those parts. And then there's also one that goes out to the featured artist, which oftentimes is the same person, but oftentimes is not. So sometimes the songwriter writes the song, a different artist performs the song. Depending on the deal that's arranged, again, these things can get complicated, but it's the songwriter who gets half of the royalty, and then it's the publisher or the artist, who are sometimes the same person, who get the other half of the royalty. If you have never sold the rights to your song, if you're the owner of the song recording, you are the publisher and you're entitled to both the mechanical and the publishing songwriting credits for the song. If you sold your songs to a label, to a record label, or if a record label signed you and funded your recording, then they are most likely the publisher. They're going to collect on that royalty. And if you wrote the songs, you'll collect on the songwriter, essentially the intellectual property of it all. But the mechanical, you can think of mechanicals because this came out in a time before streaming, and the mechanical was the sale of the physical product, right? So a CD, a cassette tape, a vinyl record. That's what was paying out mechanicals. Nowadays, that was before, like I said, before digital streaming was so big. And digital streaming kind of crosses into this hybrid area of a performance royalty and a mechanical royalty, because it is technically a sale in the sense that people pay either with a premium subscription or they pay by listening to the ads for these services. So any streams, any downloads are also not only potentially a performance royalty, but a mechanical royalty as well. It's very confusing. But as long as you understand the basics of this and you understand that you need to have affiliations with a performance right organization, either ASCAP, BMI, or CSEC, plus Sound Exchange, plus the Harry Fox Agency in order to collect on all your royalties, then you're good. That's all you need to know. Everything else is technicalities and things that could get difficult to understand, but that's the gist of it. One more thing I want to talk about is sync licensing. Sync licensing is when your music is synchronized with any other form of media. So if your songs get used in a movie, a video game, if somebody goes on makes a YouTube video and uses your music, you would be entitled to the sync licensing royalties for that as well. A lot of artists that you probably haven't heard of, that aren't famous, make a living as musicians, and a lot of them do so by sync licensing. Depending on the size of the production that's using your music in a sync licensing agreement, you could potentially collect a lot of money for sync licensing, doing things like commercials, jingles for television shows. And the Harry Fox Agency could help you out with that. There are distributors that will help you collect on this too, but not all of them. Like I said, for somebody who's looking to license music, they could go right to the Harry Fox Agency website and get access to this database here of all the music that's in their repertoire through what's called Rumblefish, that program there. So once your music's in with the Harry Fox Agency, that could open up some opportunities for you for sync licensing as well. And that's really a way to take your music career to a sustainable level. And I want you all to keep in mind that most artists aren't making a ton of money off of things like royalties. Unless you reach a high level of success, then this is more than likely going to just be supplemental income, but that's not always the case. Plenty of artists do make a full-time living. So these are agencies that you need to utilize if you want to consider becoming a professional artist, a professional musician, songwriter, or being in the publishing industry, a record label owner, things like that. But it's also a way that if you're not necessarily trying to take it to the highest level and be a professional and do it for a living, just a great way to make some supplemental income off of the things that you create. So that's pretty much it. Actually, one more thing I do want to touch on. We did talk about distribution last time, and we talked about services like CD Baby, DistroKid. They will also pay you on the mechanicals of your song. So when your songs get streamed, you will get paid through either DistroKid or CD Baby, whatever your distributor as well. Again, it's an ecosystem that all works together. There's royalty payments coming from here and here and here and all over the place. And if you're not affiliated with all the places that you could be, you're not collecting all of them. Whereas if you are, then you are. And it's pretty much as simple as that. So it takes a little legwork, it takes some research, but it's definitely doable, and it's something I highly recommend for any artist, whether you're just starting out or you're trying to do it for a living. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to another Your Library at Home digital media camp. Tune into another episode with Andre Dyson next week, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.